Hey guys, today we're going to be doing a comparison video between the Empire Axe and the Invert Mini. First thing I want to state off, right off the bat, the feed necks on these are not stock. These are Empire Nano series feed necks. The stock feed neck, which I can show on this gun here, is just the standard feed neck. Okay, it is clamping, obviously here by the clamping lever. Tube design, kind of, I guess you could say. Hold the gun the right way. As you can see, it's just a tube design with a clamp on it, and it works fairly well. You know, it's definitely not gonna, your hopper's not gonna be moving around, and you can take it off easily. But that is the standard feed neck. This would come on both the Invert Mini and the Empire Axe, as you can see on the Invert Mini here. The Empire Axe ones, I believe, are all black, even the lever is black, whereas with the Invert Minis, they colored them according to your gun. I could be wrong, but I believe the Empire Axe is just dust black most generally. It could be, the lever could be colored as well, I'm not sure about that. But that's the main thing between the two. I just want to state these are not stock, so that's the big difference between what you would get out of the box and what we have here. Other than that, everything else is pretty much the same as far as the stock gun. I'm gonna go ahead and just go through the features that are different in it, and then we'll get to the size and all that good stuff later. First thing you're gonna see here is you have the stock ASA off of the Invert Mini, which is just a non-on-off ASA. So you screw the tank in, it airs up, you unscrew the tank, it degasses. Okay, there's no on-off section to it. So that's the main difference here between the ASAs. The Empire Axe utilizes the new Empire Relay on-off ASA, which is the flip lever ASA. As you can see here, you pull the lever shut here to gas up the marker, flip it to degas it, and that's pretty much all there is to it. It's very easy design, works great. I've had no problems with it at all. The next difference would be the trigger. The trigger here, both triggers are the 3-point adjustable as far as, but the difference between the two is the Invert Mini has one adjuster in the side here and two in the top, as you can see right there. The Empire Axe has two on the trigger itself and then one in the top, as you can barely see right there. That's the difference between the two. The triggers, this is just a pin through the body that holds the trigger there. This one has ball bearings in it, actually, not ball bearings, it's bearings inside the trigger itself, so it works a lot smoother and it holds it a lot steadier. You're not going to have near the side-to-side play. You still have some, but it's not going to be near as much as the Invert Minis had, which were pretty standard to come with both gun with the Invert Mini. The triggers were just really, you know, pretty bad, I guess you could say, because they did have a ton of side-to-side play. CP came out with a great trigger for them. If you're having a problem with that, I definitely recommend the CP trigger just because it works fantastic and gets rid of that side-to-side play. But back to the guns. The main difference between the triggers, though, is there's a tiny bit of design difference. The Empire Axe comes down a little farther than the Empire or the Invert Mini. It's basically a different material. This is kind of, I believe, a composite of some kind. It feels a lot better than the metal trigger, just my personal opinion. But the main difference is the fact that the Empire Axe now utilizes the micro switch to fire the gun. Basically what the micro switch is just a tiny little switch up here. When you pull the trigger, it pushes the switch up and tells the sensor board to fire the gun. So just like a little, you know, like this, and your trigger comes up, presses it, and it therefore clicks, as you can hear. I don't know if you can hear that quite well, but anyways, it clicks and then tells the gun to fire. The Invert Mini uses a kind of magnetic, I guess you could say, firing mechanism. Basically what it is when you pull the trigger, the top of the trigger drops down, as you can see there, just slightly. And what that does is that breaks the magnetic field between the trigger and the sensor board. There you have a magnet on the sensor board and a magnet on the top of the trigger. What that does is whenever that is broken, when the forces, you know, are separated, so you got the magnets and then it breaks that force, it then automatically fires the gun. So when you pull the trigger, it fires, and each time that magnetic force is broken, then it tells the sensor board to fire the gun. So in all, I like the I guess you could say the micro switch better, just for the fact that it's a lot more stable. You know, you can definitely hear it, as far as, especially when you're, you know, practicing with your, you know, walking the trigger and stuff like that. You can hear it click, whereas with this one, as you can see, it doesn't click at all, and you can only tell when the solenoid clicks whenever the gun is on. So that's the difference in the trigger. The next difference would be the bolt. As far as the bolt assembly, the bolts in the guns are the exact same. You can use, any bolt from the Invert Mini will work in the Empire Axe, but the bolt assembly is different. As many of you know, the Empire or the Invert Mini, to get to the bolt and bolt guide and all that stuff, you had to undo the screw in the back of the grip just slightly, which would then release this, and you could pull the whole assembly out by the back. The Empire Axe, with its new design, actually is a single push button. So whenever the gun is degassed, you can push this little button here. So you can, I'm going to go ahead and turn it. You can barely see it here. As you can see, that little button right there. You press that to, hold it in. It's kind of hard to do without. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and tip it upside down for you guys. Press the button, take your bolt cap, I guess you could say, twist it counterclock or clockwise, back counterclockwise, and out. And out comes your spring, your bolt assembly, or the bolt assembly and the bolt. So very easy design like that, and then to put it back, simply align the pin in the back with the groove. Stick it all back in there. Twist it counterclockwise or clockwise, then back, then push the button and go counterclockwise. And you lock back into place. So it's a very nice design. I really think it's probably the best thing they could have done with the gun, because the Mini had a kind of a difficult time getting to the bolt. Here you could just pull it out real fast, clean it off if you're having gun problems, re-lube it real fast, and you're out there playing again. And I know a lot of people don't realize in paintball, your guns are gonna have problems, and it's a real bummer when you get out to the field and you can't even get to your stuff. You gotta having problems with the gun, and then you're gonna have to sit there through a couple of games fixing it. This makes it a lot easier to get to and to fix. Therefore, obviously, it's gonna make it better. That is pretty much it as far as the differences go, besides the obvious, which is the size. The Empire Axe, and I'm gonna go ahead and switch the guns around here, and I'm gonna try to show this as best as I can. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and align the back of the ASA to the back of the relay, and the relay is a tad bit bigger than the standard ASA, just because it's got a lot more internals with the on-off and stuff. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and line these as best we can on video. Now, with the angle we're at, as you can see, the grip is actually almost the exact same, okay? You can use the same grips and everything on the Axe as you would the Mini. As you can see, though, this is aligned, okay? It doesn't look like it in the video, but you can see the foregrip sticks out a good ½ an inch to an inch, okay, out in front of it, and it's kind of hard to see. I'm gonna go ahead just for this section, switch out minis. I've got a bronze one here just for color difference. This one does have the Empire relay, okay, so we're gonna compare the ASA size with the other one. I'm gonna be switching out guns, but this one shows the color difference so you can actually see what's going on. When you compare the two, as you can see, there's a big difference between the grip. The grip comes a lot farther out. I'm going to go ahead and move the guns over so we can see the back. As you can see, the grip frame actually aligns perfectly. And let's see if I can adjust the camera here a little bit better. Go ahead and turn the guns. As you can see, they line up perfectly. The back cap does stick out a tad bit different. As you can see here, just that little sliver right there, and it is not deeper as far as this way. It's not deeper than the Invert Mini, just a little bit longer than the Invert Mini. As far as the gun's height goes, I'm going to go ahead and turn the guns here. As you can see here, there is a slight difference. As you can see, the body, this is a little bit exaggerated because of the camera angle, but the body sticks out a good, I would say, ½ an inch, probably taller, and is that way pretty much all along. And then you're going to have where the barrel screws into the gun, as you can see here, along with the grip, is about ½ an inch out farther. The threading on the barrel is actually almost the exact same. Okay, you're going to have, if you line these guns up like this, you're going to have almost the exact same length with the barrels. The barrels are going to match because the barrel on the Empire Axe actually screws into the gun a little bit farther than on the Invert Mini. As you can see here, this is not threaded right here, so your barrel actually goes in and starts threading in, so you're going to have a little bit less barrel. It basically works out the exact same length if you were to set them with the barrels side to side, matching up the ASAs. Oops, can't see it on the camera here, but basically if you're matching up the ASAs, you could pretty much tell exactly what the difference was in between the two. Like I said, with the ASA, the Empire axe is a little bit bigger. Go ahead and trying to do this all at once here. It's not very easy, but we're gonna go ahead and do it. When you put them like this, as you can see, the ASA is that much longer, okay? It is a little bit bigger of an ASA, but you get the thing of the on-off, which is, in my opinion, 10 times better than the stock one. Probably the best upgrade you can do to it. So there is a bit of a difference there. But the length, to be honest, it never gets in my way. I've never even noticed it when I'm playing. Okay, I've had the stock one. I used it for actually almost a year and a half before the relay came out. Then I used the relay, and you can't tell the difference. But you have the option of the on-off, which is great. So that's pretty much it, guys. I think that's pretty much all the differences. As you can see, there's a little bit of different design in the guns. The Empire axe again is a little bit bigger, but it has some different milling into it. The foregrip is a lot more rounded off compared to the Invert Mini. The Invert Mini has a more squared off kind of look to it, I guess you could say. With the back here, this is a lot more rounded on the corners and stuff, and just looks to me a little bit better. But it is bigger, okay? A lot of people don't realize with the axe is it's actually the same distance between here and the grip, as far as the back of the grip and the foregrip here, as if you were to use it put up against a G6R. They actually have the same length, thanks to some other people that have actually measured it and stuff. You can actually tell that this is the same distance between the back of the grip and the front of the foregrip as the G6R, where you have the foregrip of the reg. So, you know, it's the same size. You can't compare it to the Mini in size-wise because it is a lot larger of a marker compared to a lot of the ones out there. It's about the same size as a standard marker. So to me, a lot of people ask, you know, is it worth going to the axe? Basically, the way I look at it is, if you shop around, yeah, you can get some pretty good deals if you don't buy new. New, there is a big price difference. I believe these cost $325 brand new, and these cost, I believe retail right now is $470. Okay, so there's what is that, a $150 difference between the two. One thing you gotta look at when looking to buy them is it does come with the Empire Relay. This is an $80, I believe $85 now difference. So if you were to get the Invert Mini, yeah, sure, you could buy the Empire Relay, as you can see I have on here. But the relay costs $85, so you're looking at, what did I say, $150 difference. So knock $80 off of that. You're looking at, you know, $70 difference. You get the trigger, okay, which is, in my opinion, a lot better. You get the back bolt out the back, which is a lot easier to use than the stock Invert Mini. I would say that pretty much says it all right there. I would definitely recommend it if you have the money, okay? If you don't, you can go with the Invert Mini. You can upgrade to the on-off ASA, okay? The only thing you can't upgrade to on it would be the bolt out the back. You still have to use the screw here. You can get a CP trigger on it, okay? You're going to look at the same gun. They shoot almost the exact same. The axe is a little bit smoother just because of the weight in it, okay? You're going to have a tiny bit of a weight difference, I believe a couple ounces. It's very little, but you're going to have that difference in there. But basically, you're going to have the difference of, do I want the size of the axe and the features, and can I afford it? If you can't, and you're looking for a gun that's comparable to the axe, the Invert Mini is the way to go. It's a great gun. I've never had any problems with it. A lot of people have said, you know, they had leaking problems with the ASA and stuff like that. I've had none of those, and I've owned 3 Invert Minis and an Empire axe. Okay, so they use the same ASA system, so they have the same as far as internals almost, and I've yet to have a problem with them. Okay, it's a perfect platform for the guns. I really recommend them. But basically that's what you're looking at, okay? You're looking at a size difference if you want the size. If you're looking at a smaller player and you want to be uptight, you know, front player, snake player, you're going to want this gun as far as if you don't want to pay the price, okay? It's a great gun, and it gives a small, compact feel, and it's lighter, okay? It's less than I believe it's less than 2 pounds with the barrel, battery, and etc. The Empire Axe is a tiny bit heavier. It's a lot bigger as far as lengthwise, and to some people it'll feel way better than the Invert Mini does, and that's fine, okay? But basically what I would say is, if you're looking for, you know, budget baller, and you want the style of gun of the Empire Mini Invert Axe, or the Empire Axe Invert Mini, I would definitely go, just deciding on your budget. If you can, go with the axe. Get your hands on them, okay? Feel them out, and that will tell you everything as far as the feel. But I'm not going to say either way. I prefer the axe over the Invert Mini just because it's a little bit bigger and the features it comes with. But if you are interested, you know, in budget volleying and stuff like that, and you're a small player, hey, you like the feel of this, I would definitely go with it. They're two great guns, and I would definitely recommend either of them to anybody. So that's basically the difference, guys. Hopefully that's helped. If you have any questions, let me know, and if you haven't already, subscribe. We'll be getting some more videos out here soon on some of these guns, and definitely if you're interested, if you like the videos, hey, thumbs it up, okay? It shows your support, it shows what you guys like, and I can definitely get more videos out like that. So I think that's it, guys. Thank you again for watching so much. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and I'll gladly get back to you as soon as possible, and we can get those questions solved. Have a nice day, guys.